Hey everybody, Ashish from in here, and just give folks a few moments to start to trickle in. Thank you, whoever's joined so far, and good afternoon. And folks, as you're starting to come in, you might see a quick poll come up on the screen. I thought to simply ask, in terms of some overall activities for your organization, we've kind of broken down our presentation in a few buckets, and I've just thought to query the group and see where we might find some engagement. So you might see that poll come up here as you are queuing into the room. Okay. I think we can get started here. And first and foremost, Ashish from in here. We're very excited to be part of the event, and I'm hoping in the next 30 minutes or so to share some insights with you in terms of how to leverage our talent analytics and abilities to engage and attract talent. Dottin as a company has been around since 2014, with the first 3 years or so building base models using our core competencies of data science, psychology, and machine learning together to come up with a very authentic and human-centric model. With the years after that, we've been in market selling into several different enterprise spaces and have some key channel partners as well. And very excited to bring these solutions here to the group. And thank you for the folks that have been able to provide input on the poll. I just asked for a few topic points that I can then kind of focus on. So the key focus that Dottin is maintaining right now is we are trying to help the current hiring in a virtual kind of life cycle from an engagement and a retention standpoint, and to kind of show the power of what we're able to bring here. I thought to kick off with a quick video, and this video is one put out through one of our channel partners, and the channel partner is TCS, and they're Tata consultancy service. They put out a workforce analytics offering, which is basically leveraging our insights. So in a quick explainer video, we should be able to see a little bit about how the value actually lines up to an organization.
It's situations like these where organizations continue to struggle even today. Finding optimal talent who align with their values, creating the perfect team synergy, taking contextual decisions on skill development, personalizing engagements and learning, identifying hidden potential, and providing proactive employee well-being. Adding to that are domain-specific requirements like trusted confidants for financial sector, people with safety-first attitude in construction and manufacturing, and mavericks in innovative jobs. Even with the best-in-market processes and tools, there is a vast disconnect between an organization's vision, its management, and its people. It takes a lot of time and effort to align and streamline data, actions, and interventions. Such gaps lead to incorrect decisions and losses. We wanted to augment organizations with an intelligent workforce management ecosystem fit for the world of Business 4.0 and created the TCS Workforce Analytics offering. Our solution exponentially accelerates and redefines talent identification in a matter of minutes without the use of complicated tools and processes. It also reveals the true characteristics of your workforce, making talent allocation, development, and wellness user-centric, intelligent, and preemptive. TCS Workforce Analytics uses a mix of psychology, neuroscience, AI, and ML, making the user experience fast, insightful, and delightful. Let's have a look at how it works. It matches applicant resumes with your organizational values and job requirements. The 1-minute color code test provides investigative reports with details of working styles, learning styles, dominant attributes, and other compatibilities. Use the insights to augment and enhance your entire workforce life cycle. TCS Workforce Analytics can work in any organization and for any domain. You can witness an effort reduction of 25 to 50% in sourcing, screening, and identifying personality attributes. Successively, you get to take informed proactive decisions, enabling you to place candidates in appropriate roles, nurturing potential talent, and focus on all-round well-being of your people. Augment your workforce with the power of TCS Workforce Analytics offering.
All right. So, from a high level, that gives an overview in terms of how workforce analytics and some of our capabilities have been used throughout the enterprise. And I think um, hopefully that gives a good quick overview and intro. So, Dodin has created a business to business software as a service AI talent analytic platform. And we focus on helping organizations source by leveraging both a vast database of 480 million plus candidates with the addition of insights from the personality and cognitive side, leveraged through AI for prioritization, and also with screening checkpoints, including passive screening, leveraging a resume, and active screening through a 1-minute personality assessment checkpoint, which not only is very quick, but also incredibly accurate. And we'll have a chance to experience that in a little bit here. And then we also have capabilities with regards to upskilling, understanding talent and their aspirational path, and identifying the gap in which, say, course recommendation or other process can be put to get to that point. And with that deeper level of understanding of our talent, our candidates, our employees, we can also create cues in terms of better engagement. So as we go a little bit deeper, the key point that we're trying to bring to especially the early stage of hiring is really understanding the human aspects, with regards to the resume, for example. By being able to understand core motivations and values of individuals and understand their skills and experiences in real time, leveraging our technology, we're able to bring a lot of insights, value, and alignment to the early stages of hiring. Not only this, it's done in the fastest way possible and in the most accurate way, as we're not looking at typical endpoints for bias, things like gender, race, ethnicity, facial expression. Our system is simply looking at certain attributes around people and their personality in the most authentic way. One thing to call out as we go into the solution is that our um, models and our outcomes are all aligned based to industry standard. For example, we are using ONET, which is a United States Department of Labor taxonomy, if you will, of jobs out there, certain requirements around those jobs in alignment, so that we can align to kind of impartial golden standard. As we're generating insights within our assessments, for example, we do look at things like learning style. So we leverage Gartner's theory of multiple intelligences, which again is a model that's been out there, for example, for educators. And we would use those insights to help understand learning styles. Also, we are looking at the workplace personality through the lens of Holland's occupational model. And Holland's model has been used through career counselors and others to help align personality to kind of the workplace. So the call out again is that we're trying to stay industry standard as much as possible to stay compliant. And when it comes to sourcing, the starting point becomes understanding a job title and description. So simply by analyzing the job title and description, the unique components, both with regards to skills, soft skills, technical skills, our system will generate what's called an ideal model. This ideal model is now going to be basically used to search through our database and come back with a prioritized list of candidates. This database is 480 million profiles deep. That's worldwide. But the key call out is that our profiles are GDPR compliant, CCPA compliant, so meaning that all the information is coming from publicly available or opted in types of resources. And also, we're able to maintain FERPA compliance because we have worked with university. So the key is we're very big on the ethical aspects of using data properly, and we only store what we need to for the standpoint of creating our outcomes. What we then do is come back with a prioritized list with an overall scoring based on cultural alignment, technical alignment, and even team alignment. More than that, we can also look at attributes around people so we can understand the need of the hour, for example, is who can work from home. So we've created a top level filter where you can quickly identify the folks that have the personality qualities around resilience, which would align, to their probable alignment to work from home types of use cases. We can also give cues in terms of how to engage with talent. So an example here would be a quick insight report for each one of these returns where, say, a manager or a sourcer could look at their top working style, learning styles, their workplace values, how they bring their these values they're bringing to the team, to the overall culture. And we also give cues in terms of incentives. And we'll share examples of these assets with you guys in terms of after the webinar where you can actually take a look at these reports. So I thought now to go into a quick demo of how that sourcing piece actually works. So if I share my screen, and please do let me know in chat if there's any issues seeing the screen. And what I'll first do is, as we mentioned, it starts with a job title and description. So if I go to any job, and I've just picked a Glassdoor description of a very generic sales role, sales executive role here. And so I simply have to just bring over the body of any job title and description. So I'll copy that, paste it in, and put the title. The system will come back with the ideal model. So if I click through, what we've done is analyze the words in that technical difficulties. I'll just log back in here. Going back to the same job here. We're able to see the profile based on those unique words that were in the description. So the first thing we see under the working style is a distribution of their workplace personality attributes. So what we see for the ideal profile is that the person has to be enterprising. They have to be able to go get the buy-in internally and externally. They also have to be good at presentation, public speaking, things along those lines. They also need to be conventional. So by clicking on each attribute, the system is dynamic and allows you to read about the conventional aspect here, which is somebody who's organized and can create and maintain structure and process. There's also some need to be artistic and creative. Social skills are also important from the standpoint of workplace personality, and realistic is also a quality that's needed. So by having an ideal profile with their working style and learning styles, we can see here for learning styles, for example, interpersonal intelligence is important, the ability to connect with others and ask questions. Verbal linguistic intelligence is important. That's the ability to craft and write emails and have that ability to learn through linguistics. And spatial visual or conceptual high level insights are important, and logical mathematical intelligence. And this is all based upon the job title and description. We can also take a look at some of the high level skills that are required for the job. And we can see what types of engagement would work for the ideal candidate. So if we're writing a job title or description, these might be cues to help attract the probable candidates, and even some of the ways to motivate and incentivize. So this ideal model is very powerful, and it's created pretty much in real time. Once we have that model, we can go into the sourcing job, and for the sake of our demo, I've actually already just ran this job right before, just to make sure that we're taking advantage of time. But here, based on our filter options, we can choose country, we can choose location, we can choose the desired experience level, the titles, and also some of the tags in terms of skills that you might need, for example, CRM. We look at the return here, and the overall score is a combination of their cultural alignment. So we can take a look by clicking through and seeing, as soon as it comes up here, where this individual lines up based on the actual profile. So we see a very close match based on that ideal profile, and same with their learning style. So this gives an example of how that higher match on the cultural side looks. We can also take a look at a quick resume and an insight report where this can be shared with, for example, the prospective candidate to a hiring manager. And here we can see that the top technical and soft skills are called out. And we can also take a look at their quick insight report as well. Even beyond this, if we take a look at the overall list, we can take a look at secondary filters. As I mentioned earlier, we're able to filter for work from home. And so one thing I'd like to show you here is how quickly you can identify which ones of these potential passive candidates are good candidates from work from home, meaning that their personality type fits well with the resilience model. They're adaptable, they are good under pressure in terms of working independently. And so this is a quick way to identify which folks are good candidates for those remote roles out there. And we can even filter further for workplace values. For example, if we're looking for people that have the quality of dependability, we can filter for that quality as well. So this gives you an idea of how these deeper insights at an earlier stage in the hiring funnel add value. So I'll just switch right back to the presentation here. And so you guys should now see my presentation in the slides. From a standpoint of screening, We have the ability to look at either a resume or an active 1-minute personality assessment checkpoint. And in real time, building that ideal model, as we did with job title and description, allows us to come back with the same overall score breakdown of cultural, technical, and team alignment. The same insight reports available through active candidates. Uh, this example here is best illustrated through taking the 1-minute workplace personality assessment. So we'd like to invite you all to take this assessment. I'm pasting the link into the chat, and this will allow both here live and after the fact for you to get a chance to experience the input and the output. And the process of the workplace personality assessment is very simple. The mechanism is to look at pixelated images from a gallery, and you'll be able to select the images that kind of resonate most with you. And so in the chat, if you guys are able to click through that registration link, I'll give an example here of what that outcome looks like, so you can follow along. So I'll go back to sharing screen. It should come up here in just a moment. And so what I'll do here is just go to a standard user, and I'll walk through the personality assessment outcome. Again, as you follow the link that we shared in chat, you'd be able to see your own results, and then we can take a look at it after the fact as well. Please feel free to reach out to either Ganesh or myself for deeper insights. So as you come back with the results, what you'll see first is a summary. So we give an analysis of a quick high-level executive summary. In this case, I'm just choosing one of our demo users. And we find out how they're consuming information, their cultural attributes here. And we also are able to look at some engagement insights. So how best to communicate, how best to structure conversation in the workplace, and even some of the tools that you might use with this individual. Not only that, we can identify what types of training, compensation, and engagement programs might fit. And these are a unique set of offerings. We've studied about 50 different packages, and we've lined them up to these 3 buckets. But what we're trying to create is a deeper level of engagement by understanding this particular individual. I'm going to show one more example here of an individual who's also submitted their resume. Once we have a resume, we're also able to come back and give you insights around the skills that this individual brings. So for example, here under the skill analysis, what we're able to quickly show are some of the top concentrations, even some of the overall net experience that an individual has, and even the time per employer. So with a simple input of a resume, we're able to come back with some pretty detailed insights off the bat. And these can be refined further as we start to run prioritization workflows and even leverage the engagement insights and other attributes to create a better first level connection with these individuals. We can also take a look at the skill attributes as they bubble up. So these are the tags that we're able to pull for this particular resume. And these are nice insights to have, and they're pretty much available in real time. All we need is effectively a resume or the 1-minute personality assessment on the front end. So just checking time here, we're coming up on about 5 minutes left. So I think what might be interesting is to go into the QA piece quickly to see if there's any questions. So I'll just look at the chat here. Excellent. All questions are answered. So what I'll do here is just walk through a couple more slides in closing that'll just give a little bit more in terms of our abilities beyond the front end, the sourcing and the screening. And again, if you guys have any questions, please reach out to us. We're happy to walk you through these in more detail. But one more component here to call out is our ability to understand and work with upskilling. So we've partnered with It Forbes, which is an initiative through the Forbes brand, where we are effectively building we've built a smart advisor looking at your personality traits and skills and how they line up between the baseline or where an individual is and the aspirational path. And this is an example of a technology and function that's pretty important these days, as we are looking for opportunities to both guide individuals to an aspirational path, but also from an organizational standpoint, to upskill or cross train different parts of the workforce. So the aspect of our AI and personality aspect and assessment sits on the front end. So the individual coming into signing up here would basically take their assessment, and those insights would be used to make recommendations. We've also worked with universities, including San Jose State University, to help create engagement within the student body with like-minded mentors and other opportunities and study groups. So engagement through key insights, conversational cues, and match of synergy. And we've also taken a deeper look in terms of the talent analytics aspect. So specifically for COVID-19, the report on the left side here shows an example of resilience and collaboration and how these two components are so important with regards to, for example, remote teams. The business units in the green quadrant here would show higher capability of resilience and collaboration. And likely these are the units that you could say leave on autopilot. They should be okay remotely. But for example, folks that maybe have lower resilience and lower collaboration might need to be brought back to the office. This example here is, very literal, but I'm trying to show that the high level aspects of talent analytics can lead to some pretty key insights where now proactively leadership can focus on where support should be given. The same way we can try to identify potential disengagement before there's a productivity loss. An example with the synergy heat map on the right side is the lighter tiles are folks that have a lower probable synergy level. That's the ability to work together. And so if you identify where there's friction on either case, talent analytics from a top-down level allows an organization to really focus on building scaffolds and triage strategy, or just understanding and getting a pulse in terms of the overall organization. And this can certainly help at scale, especially in multi-location type of organizations where you have larger use cases. Beyond that, as we can guide an employee at each stage of the journey, we're all about trying to enrich. So if we can identify strengths, lead with strengths, build teams together, create mentorship and networking opportunities that ultimately lead to nurture and growth, and customized learning and development opportunities, what we get at the end of the day is a very powerful overall mutual value proposition between the organization and the individual. And not only that, throughout their life cycle, there's several key use cases that we can bring in, and we're happy to talk through these in more detail with anybody who'd like to after the fact. But we are very big on building long-term relationships, and we have some key channel partners that have allowed us to do that. And we like to call out that our validation to get, basically to get business with these partners require deep due diligence and other things along those lines, ensuring that we're GDPR compliant, as we did work initially in Europe as well. And CCPA and FERPA, which would be specific to California and universities, shows that we have the ability to maintain our integrity in terms of personal information and efficacy of solution. Quick marketing slides here going through some of the key logos, and our partners and direct customers here have been incredible lighthouse customers, and we have some great case studies. We also have had some public sector success where we've been able to work with some of the key 911 operators through some of our partners. Integrating and connecting with .in is something that we can do in many ways, and we're happy to discuss how deep that type of integration looks like. It starts out with an out-of-the-box kind of platform, and we can also integrate within your ecosystem depending upon what is the most appropriate. So we have IP, and we've been able to come through some of the key industry accelerators, plug and play. Recently through Salesforce, we've been able to work with their work.com initiative. And so we're constantly looking for ways to improve our own product and our own leadership through these opportunities, and happy to share more details again after the fact. So I see that we're pretty much here at the top of the hour. So look for any final questions here. And I do thank everybody for joining. I hope that this gave you a little bit of a high level in terms of our ability to add insights and here to support the conversation as it develops.